Today the Lord invites us to learn the truth of who we are and know how we should live as His people. And we know the old Israel was known as the chosen people, a covenantal people, a consecrated nation. So we are, as Christians and family of God. When the Pharisees came to test Christ, as we have heard in the gospel today, and even the one of last Sunday, Jesus used these as teaching moments to bring out truths about our life. He is instilling in their hearts and in our hearts as well that we are a chosen people, a people chosen in love in order to love our brothers and sisters. And when they question about the greatest commandment, they knew already that God had given them 10 commandments. And out of these, the Pharisees had made 613 precepts, 248 do's, and 365 don'ts. So these details for an Israelite were meant to make a person fully circulated with the commandment of God, from morning up to evening. And the 365 don'ts were given in order to make people have a precept to meditate on every day until the year ended. And this made people find a difficulty in understanding what the law exactly was about. And the rabbis were not also agreed on what was the most important law. So they come to Jesus to find out exactly where the gist of the law is. And Christ points it out exactly that the law, as its gist, is on God and love of neighbor. Mark and Matthew give this as 2 laws. Luke combines the 2 into 1. He says, love God with all your heart and all your soul and all your life, and your neighbor as yourself. For Luke, it is 1 law, love. Even St. John, his 13th chapter, presents it as 1 law, and Jesus says, I give you a new commandment, love as I have loved. So love is what we are created for. Love is what we are created in, and love is what we should give, because it draws our hearts next to the heart of God, and it draws others into the love of God. And this is what makes us truly a covenantal people, family of God, a people chosen in love in order to love. And if we actually love the law of God, then it will be easy for us to read the Word of God, listen to it, and act upon it with love. We shall be able to pray to the Father who is loving in order to supply a great abundance of love so that our lives abide in His love and we are able to give love like He gives it, abundantly, indiscriminately, and without reservation. If we love God, there will be a readiness in us to do the will of God. The will of God will become our food, as Jesus said. And if we do what pleases God, his heart will be most pleased in us and will supply more love. If we love God, we shall be able to respond generously to the needs of our fellow human beings. And this is where Exodus is leading us. God would like us to respond to the needs of our fellow human beings according and after his own heart. And the Exodus writer has highlighted 3 people to whom this love must flow unreservedly. And if we let love flow, we shall not miss any point in being a Christian. The strangers need love because the situation they are in requires of us to offer empathy to them. And as we offer empathy to them, we refrain from every way of mistreating them, discriminating them, labeling them, and ignoring them. Because their situation is a self-presenting situation to us in order to respond with love. A love that comes from the heart of God. A love that makes us family of God. To the extent that no one looks at the other as alien. The second person to be shown love are the widows and orphans. These people, according to God in Exodus, are the most vulnerable. They lack protection and defense. They need support, and they can easily be victimized and abused. So God would like us to exercise that love that makes us keepers of our brothers and sisters. And out of love, offer them protection, offer them defense, offer them what they need so that they feel they are part and fully loved in the family of love, the family of God. And God has said that if we do not defend these people, he will intervene, but to our disadvantage, because we have ignored them. The third group is the group of the poor, who even take a risk to apply for loan, to enter into debt in order to survive. And they go as far as even plating their clothing, almost leaving themselves naked in order to get something to eat. God says if someone comes to you and asks for a loan, do not extort him or her. This is a self-presenting situation that one is in dire need, total distress. And being created in the image of God, in which we are as well created, leads us to feel one with them and identify with them, feel with them, and offer what is most needed. And this is love, protection, assurance, and hope in the future. Are there no situations in life now today in which people are profiting out of the misfortunes of the poor? Are there no instances where things are hoarded from the poor? At times, prices are so high that the poor end up having their pockets emptied and have nothing more to live on. And at times the poor are poorly paid, and they have no advocacy to defend them. These are the situations that God would like us to look into and find means of putting love where this love is lacking. If we adhere to the invitation of the book of Exodus today and apply it according to the heart of God, as the gospel has told us, we shall not miss a point in being Christians, in being a chosen people, in being a covenantal people, in being a people chosen in love in order to love. And to strengthen this, St. Paul has told us in the second reading that we should strive every day, as he did, to be imitators of Christ. Christ left heaven out of love for all humanity. He emptied himself. He's God, but he did not cling to that honor. He put it aside in order to identify with us, accepting sin, in order to draw us out of our needy situation, get us back on our feet, and raise us back to the Father of original dignity. This is what we should imitate from Christ. To draw all people into the love of Christ, be they orphans and widows, poor or aliens, and make them feel that they are loved, they are well taken care of, they are important, and their dignity is not violated. It is love that will help us not to miss this point. It is love that will teach us to be fully what we are in truth, and it is love that will make us open our hearts and have room for all people in our hearts. May God help us to answer this invitation generously and make our lives and hearts open to the love that recreates, a love that refreshes life. The Lord be with you.